Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Arsenic and Espresso, a podcast where we sometimes drink coffee, but we always talk about metal music. Tonight, we are reacting yet again, because we don't do anything else on this channel. We are reacting to another song by Oceans of Slumber. Mm-hmm. This is a return to the earth below. We were recommended this song on our Strange Fruit reaction to watch this song to be able to get a better grasp of Cammie's vocal range. So I am very excited to watch this and talk about it.
And I'm still not sold on this band yet.
So
without further ado. I like this. Mm-hmm. This is definitely more my jam.
This is kind of, I feel like, what we've both been waiting for. To hear.
Definitely. Yeah. Her vocal range has been great so far. I loved the intense drums at the beginning. And
honestly, though, that dip into that low key she just did was so magnificent, and the fact that her tone didn't fall flat at all when she went lower.
Yeah.
Incredible. So, yeah, I think, one, it is a little bit more our typical.
Right.
And, I mean, I know we've been saying, like, we want to also react to things. We want to watch things that are not our typical personal taste in music. But this whole time, I've been waiting to hear... It doesn't even necessarily have to be a breakdown, but just that, like, drop into heavy guitar, heavy vocals. I've been waiting for that, kind of on the edge of my seat, because I keep expecting it, and then it just keeps going.
Well, and their other two songs that we've reacted to have fallen more along the line, like a classic rock vibe.
Like a classic rock ballad.
Yeah, so this is a lot more metal, a lot more S.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so much more up my alley than I don't even care. Than the last song we just watched, their latest release. This is a lot more the type of.
This is what I wanted.
Yeah.
This is definitely what I wanted. When you said like Southful doom metal,
this is what I expected.
Yeah, exactly.
And where it's like it's dark, it is sultry.
Yeah.
But it's still got a heaviness to it.
Yeah.
And like I'm a firm believer like everything doesn't have to be just like double bass and like crazy grungy guitars and like super dirty vocals. Like it doesn't have to be that for me to enjoy it. But I do personally like metal that has some like really intense heaviness behind it. And that like that was so good. Yeah. Like when she's in the water, the whole time I was like, please just let there be like this like sudden like hit of like drums and guitar, like please, 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 please. And then it did it, and I was just like, thank you. I was so happy because I was really hoping that that's what would happen, because that's what it like. That's what that like empty space, just that like, I mean, it was almost silence. There was just that like little bit of tone from his little thing, but it's like it's like in a scary movie when there's silence. And it puts you on the edge of your seat, and you're then anticipating a jump scare.
Yeah, and
like it's the exact same feeling of the anticipation of being like, please let there be a breakdown of some kind.
Right. Yeah. No, I thought that was great. I think the video, like, paired with it so well.
Yes.
We talk about this a lot, how videos can complement. You know, sometimes you just get a metal band that has a video that's just in a warehouse, and you're like, oh, cool, that was awesome. But then sometimes you get videos that really complement, like, this is what the artist really meant by the song.
Yeah.
And I think that the video did it justice there. I thought it was funny too, because in Strange Fruit, the kit that the drummer's playing on is just a very basic, like, simple. There's like 2 cymbals, and a snare, basically. But it starts out, I don't know if it starts out, but in part of the song there's a huge like double bass riff, but I was like, that's interesting that they have that, but then they have a very simple kit in the music video, but then to see his like full metal double bass kit in this one, I was like, okay, this is what the band's all about. And so it really.
Well, and I think it ties to, I think we talked about it in some of our Trivium videos, and I know we've talked about it in other ones as well, but like the things you do for the aesthetic and versus like the practical, like what is actually happening. I know I talked about it in, I think it was a Trivium song where it might have been Trivium or Fever 333, but like he's singing so hard.
Yeah.
like veins are popping out of his face, and like nothing like grinds my gears quite when someone like when this in the song this person hits a note that has like so much power behind it that like their entire body is like shaking with energy, and in the video they're like and that's like all they do, and you're like, that's not what they're doing in real life. In real life they're like sweating and like crying a little bit.
But you can tell when it's made just for the video that they're lip syncing through and that they're editing and going through, and it's not a full like it's
versus when you can tell that like the sound mixing and editing that was done, like they were actually performing during the filming of the video, and then it was just like mastered and like
it's hard not to take that out on the band itself, right? They can make great music, but then you see the video and you're like, that doesn't really line up, and it takes away. And I felt like this video I like this band.
Because I honestly I super loved Strange Fruit for what it was. I knew that they were doing a cover of a song from the South, and so I knew it was going to be
extremely important song.
Yeah, too. I loved Strange Fruit. I still do.
Great song.
Our last reaction to The Colors of Grace, I think. Didn't love it. It's fine. It was
metal.
It wasn't our brand of metal. It was super country for me. It was super not gonna hate on anything, but I don't listen to country music. It was super country. It was super just like kind of traditional rock ballad, which don't get me wrong, I have a whole playlist of those. There's a time and a place for it, but it is not what I listen to daily. And so there was that like tinge of disappointment for me where I was like, okay, so like, is this their sound? Like, did Strange Fruit go so far off base for like what they traditionally do? And it just set me up to think that they were something they're not.
Well, and like reading the description of their band, talking about it, them being doom metal, right? Progressive, Southful, doom metal. Like, and that's not what you saw in this latest one. And so with us only listening to a couple of songs of theirs,
I was honestly, I was quite a dick in the last video. Like I'm not even gonna lie. I was like in my brain, I was like, what? But after seeing this,
I'm on board.
I'm so on board, and I wanted to be so bad. I wanted to be on board so bad, and like I totally am now. Like this is right up my alley. Her vocals are incredible. Also, like through the whole video, I feel like she was probably a dancer. The control over her body is incredible. Her movements were so intentional, and like being a naturally very clumsy person, I can always tell when someone is like really good at controlling their body.
Is not clumsy.
And like everything she did was like so elegant and like beautiful looking. But then also like to go back to her vocals, the fact that she dropped down to that low pitch, didn't go flat. Because I've heard other professional singers and like they try and do that, and in the mixing they can kind of hide it, but like they will either go flat or completely lose power behind the note, and you hear it just kind of trail off.
No,
and you don't maintain the power through the end of that note, and like she was able to, and that's incredible.
I'm convinced she probably sounds very, very similar live. Right?
I think so too. I feel like she would be a voice that would carry through live or studio recording. Thank you. That this was what I hoped it would be. I was so worried. Anyway, so I returned to Earth Below by Oceans of Slumber. Broken glass, and I am holding my breath. Weak hands are trembling. I thought today would be like any other, but the bell jars coming down, a sudden sinking and my heart is falling. Right down into the ground, I feel the panic inside overtaking any resolve I thought I'd found. On the ledge we danced, now we are falling, and the walls are closing in. When the darkness gathers, when we are crawling, and the worms are coming in. Ooh. My thoughts are racing, and my heart is shattered like a bird caught in a cage, like the sky that fights the storm from overtaking. The serene I thought I'd found, it waits for me. Oh, it never really left. It takes hold of me, and it drags me straight to hell. On the ledge we danced, now we are falling, and the walls are closing in. When the darkness gathers, we are crawling, and the worms are coming in. In only a moment, the tides have all changed, erasing the work and toil of previous days. I lean into the void that I always knew would come to reclaim my light. I have spent my whole life running, and I have tried to flee from myself. I could never weather the storm that was rising, rising, rising from within me. It doesn't matter the time in between. Darkness carved its mark in me, carved its mark in everything. But I'm done. I'm done running. I stand in the rain. Here I stand, purge my fear and make my claim. That is magnificent. Those lyrics are magnificent.
I would say that it's fair to say you are back on board with this band.
I'm back on board with this band. Yes.
All right.
100%, 136%.
Well, then, knowing our reaction to this song, what are some other good ones that we need to react to?
Yes, let us know down below, please. Anyway, thanks for watching. I apologize for being a dick in the last Oceans of Slumber video. Hit a thumbs up if you like this, if you stayed all the way to the end, and follow us on all of our other social medias. And we will be back shortly with another probably reaction video.